Am I the astronaut for telling my wife to eat better and getting on to her about it? That sounds dangerous. We're both mid-30s and we have a 2-month-old baby who is breastfed. Okay, let's go ahead and stop right there. Hold on. New information, ladies and gentlemen. We're one line into this story and OP has become an even bigger asshole. Telling your wife to eat better and getting on to her about it, and she had a baby 2 months ago.
And breastfeeding.
And breastfeeding. Okay, all right. Smart. I'll be blunt, my wife's diet is terrible. She's not overweight, nor does she have any health problems, but she just doesn't eat anything healthy. Not overweight, no health problems. He just doesn't like what she eats. Her diet consists mainly of chips and then some form of meat or pie or frozen pizza or something else to that effect. She tells me she doesn't like anything. The only veggie she likes is cucumber and lettuce, and the only fruit she'll eat is strawberries and apples. That is it. She eats a hell of a lot of ultra-processed snacks like chocolate, cake, and biscuits. I class myself as quite a healthy eater. But I only eat one meal a day, and it's very regimented and full of vegetables, lean protein, and healthy fats. I cook for her in the evening, and I'll ask her what she wants for tea, but it's always the same things all the time. When she does herself dinner, it's always something like bread and butter or bread and cheese, or I've seen her eat just raw bread. Sometimes she'll ask me to cook her a beef ragu and spaghetti, and I always sneak as much vegetables as I can in. A cup of spinach, kale, mushrooms, sometimes kidney beans, although she tends to pick them out, and keep asking her to take some supplements like vitamin D, especially with her breastfeeding, and she might have 1 or 2 supplements, but then forgets to take them for days on end, and I have to keep reminding her. I always try to get her to try new things, but she always says that she doesn't like the texture or something. I know it's her body and she can eat what she wants, but I kind of worry about her long-term health when she keeps eating like this. I've pointed it out when she has a slice of cake at 10:30 a.m. that it's not healthy and she should eat better, and she gets ultra defensive and we end up falling out. I've tried approaching it delicately. At the end, the result is the same. I don't know how breastfeeding works in terms of how she eats affects the quality, I guess, of the breast milk, but I worry that her lack of proper diet and nutrients may also have an effect on the baby. I do give her some vitamin D supplements and stuff, but I still get a little worried. At the end of the day, I only want what's best for her and really do want her to eat a little better. But each time I mention it, I get demonized to make to feel like I'm being controlling or something. It isn't at all like that, at least not from my view, and I end up feeling really guilty. For anyone wondering, yes, her diet has always been bad, and the baby hasn't changed her diet in any way. She has had a bad diet for as long as we've been together, which is coming on 9 years. Slight edit to add, when I say get on her about it, I don't mean literally all the time, but fairly frequently. I didn't think that explanation was going in that direction. I was like, when I say get on her about it, I don't mean literally. And I was like, well, yeah, obviously. And then he's like, okay, no. Tater Rooney.
I mean, this may piss a lot of people off, but as someone who is now facing the issues of having a shitty diet, as I approach 40, I feel like changing your diet earlier in life is actually important. I think because it can cause issues in your life, but you can't make that decision for her. She has to want that for herself. And she will have ramifications of her diet, of eating highly processed food, about, she's going to have issues with highly processed food later in life, but you can't make those changes for her. I don't think he's centering himself. I think I get the vibe that he loves her and he wants to be with her for life and he wants her to be healthy, but he cannot make those choices for her.
Agreed. You can't make those choices for her. And from my perspective here, this whole time when I was reading through this, I'm like, you're getting into controlling territory, getting into controlling territory, getting into controlling territory. And then I'm like, wait a second. Like when her habit affects your child directly, you do have more to care about there and you should have more of a voice. Not the angle, it kept getting worse here. And for you, OP, I understand. I get it now. You're like, hey, my baby is receiving her bad diet. And maybe that's where the real concern comes from because he knows he's not going to change what she does for her own sake. But now it's their child's sake seeing this as well and getting used to these things. I understand that concern, but here at the end, you say, it's always been bad for as long as we've been together, which is going on 9 years. You're not going to change that through bitching.
That's what you just said. You can't bitch at her to make her change.
Exactly.
That is 100% going to force her in the opposite direction. That's going to make her want to be petty and and feel slighted and feel attacked because you're coming. It's like trying to tell someone that they need to go to therapy. That's not going to make them want to go to therapy. That's going to make them defensive about what they're currently doing. And I feel like he's hitting the same wall.
Yeah. You need therapy and you need to eat better. Things are probably along the same lines as like no one wants to hear that.
I mean, we talk a lot about how children change your life and how you make decision based on what you want for your children. And maybe that's what he's feeling now and why he's pushing for this change, because he wants a mom that's going to be there in 40 years. He wants these things out of life. And so, but he has to go about it a different way. He's going to have to make her want it too.
Right. Yeah. And if anything, Ellen, I see what you're saying here. Ellen says she ate like shit before they got married and before she got pregnant, but he expects her to magically change now. You should have thought of that before you got married and had a baby. Yeah. So he accepted that risk head on and now is trying to get her to change just at the drop of a hat. It's not going to happen like that. You aren't going to be able to like whip her into submission to get her to do this. You're not going to be able to bitch at her and negatively react here and get her to react in a positive way that you want, right? You can lead by example, which you have, but she hasn't adopted, right? Start trying to show her the benefits of it or make it as easy as possible, which it feels like you're trying to do as well. But if this is going to happen, it's got to come from someone that she trusts, like a doctor or a parent or something like that. And if you have a genuine concern, if you've already had the discussion with her and tried to explain calmly, like your reasons for being concerned, instead of just trying to shove this lifestyle on her, if you've already done that, then maybe it's worth a conversation with mom if you're close to mom and she'll listen to her. You know what I mean? Because you're concerned, not because like you just want her to do this. It's out of genuine care and concern, but your expectations that she's going to just take the bait and do this when you're really just trying to force it on her, that's unreasonable. It's unreasonable.